Hello, everyone. I hope I am audible to everyone. Those whosoever is watching me live, first of all, can you guys give me the confirmation before I will proceed uh, with the questions and the today's session? Is my voice is clearly audible to all? It's been a while that I haven't interacted with you all, so I thought that why not uh, to interact with you all today, and then we will talk about some basic things as a beginner level for the Excel part, because I feel this is one of the most important tool that we have. So today we will talk about that particular tool, the functions that we have inside that tool, and we'll try to do the practical demonstrations in a fun way, right? I hope you all are excited with me to do this particular same thing. But before we will proceed, give me the confirmation that whether I'm clearly audible, clearly visible or not, right? Um, Hemant is saying, I'm very excited, ma'am, for providing such valuable resource for us. Thank you so much. Thanks, Hemant. I'm also excited too, right? A very good evening, Umesh. Am I clearly audible to everyone? Can you guys give me the confirmation? Is my voice is clearly audible perfectly? Yes? Okay. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Uh, how are you all? Let's do some chit chat for the first 5 minutes, right? In the meanwhile, everyone will join. If you have something to ask from me in the meantime, you can ask. We can do some random chit chat and then we can start our today's agenda, right? So I hope via the thumbnail and the heading itself, you will get to know that today's agenda is to talk about the Excel tutorial. If there is someone who is even not even aware about that tool, I'll make sure that he or she will also able to understand. We will start from very scratch, and then step by step we will learn the advanced things. We'll see. This session will be of 1 hour, where in the initial 45 to 50 minutes I'll talk about the things which I really want to talk about in this session. And after that, in the remaining 5 to 10 minutes, we will make it a QA segment where you can ask your questions with respect to the session that we have covered up. Right, that's how the complete flow will go with respect to the today's session. And I'm pretty sure that this session will be really helpful for you all, because Excel is something which I am using from past few years, and this is one of the most amazing tool. This is not specifically I am saying for the person who is from data science domain or who is from data analyst domain. In our personal lives also, whenever we are trying to manage our finances, whenever we are trying to manage our learning, right, this Excel is something which we use to store our data. At least I use that. Okay. Every month I used to create a Excel sheet where I have the record that how much expenses I have made for the last month, right? And this really helps me to analyze that, how can I manage my finances more better, in a more better sense. So these things I'll show you today with the proper demonstration, and I really hope that you will enjoy these stuffs, right? If you have any doubts, anything you want to ask, because it's been a while that I haven't interacted with you all, so you can ask from me, and within few minutes I'll start the session. Meanwhile, I'm sharing my screen, and you guys let me know whether my screen is properly visible or not. Okay. Just give me the confirmation that whether my screen is clearly visible or not. Okay. Perfect. I believe my screen is visible to everyone. Yes or no? Is my screen is visible? Can you guys give me the confirmation? I'll take the questions as well, but first of all, give me the confirmation that whether the screen is properly visible to everyone or not. So Muhammad is saying that give some tips to prepare for interviews for a data analyst role. Which are the topics that we need to focus more? See, for data analyst role, it's quite easy and smooth, uh, I would say, process to start into a data journey. After this, you can go into data engineering, data science roles. As I always say, in order to have a good grab over that data analyst role, you should be good with the tools. The number one tool which we are discussing today, Microsoft Excel, then Power BI, Tableau. These are the tools that you should be aware of. See, the major purpose of data analyst is to analyze the data, right? So to do the analysis, you should have a good hands-on knowledge about the tools. Apart from that, you should have a good knowledge about the stats concept. Apart from that, you should have a good knowledge about the SQL based concepts. Like if suppose your data is available in some database, how will you able to extract that data and do a analysis on top of that? If you guys remember, I think maybe last month itself, I have done one live session with respect to the sales analysis using SQL, where we have taken the Swiggy, I think Swiggy based data set. I have manually tap on, and I have connected my MySQL workbench with a Python Jupyter notebook, and then we did the analysis. So that is something which is a kind of a thing that you can do on top of this data analyst role, right? So basically, we need to analyze the data. For the analysis part, we required a good hands-on on SQL. We required a good hands-on Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, stats concepts. Apart from this, a basic, I would say, not that much widely Python programming language, coding is required. But yeah, basic of coding you should know. That's something which is the mandatory step, because in maximum companies, when you go for the first round, they will ask you with respect to the data structures and algorithms, which you can explain via the Python programming language, which you can implement via the Python programming language. So it would be good to have. Okay. Okay. So what's the time now? Okay, it's 7 7. So let me start the session without wasting much time. If you have the questions, as I already stated, we will I'll take it after the end of this particular session. I'll try to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes of Q&A segment at the end of the session as well. Okay, so let's get started with the today's agenda, which is about the Microsoft Excel tool. It's a beginner, I would say, session. I'll also try to create one more session of this Excel itself, where I will talk about the advanced topics. So today's session is from easy to moderate level, so that everyone whosoever is not very much comfortable with Excel basic functions also, he or she will be comfortable with that. And after this, I'll try to create, after a few weeks, one more part two of this particular session, the same live session, where we will try to talk about some advanced concepts in Excel. And I must say, as I already said, it's not that you want to become data analyst, you want to become data scientist, then only you should be aware about this tool. It should be, this session is for everyone, whosoever wants to organize their personal data also pretty well. So that is something which I can say here, because I'm utilizing this knowledge, this tool, from past few years, and I'm really amazed. When I remember when I started using this tool for the first time, how these calculations happened, I was really amazed. It's like a calculator for me, right? So let's explore this tool in a much better way. First of all, can anyone tell me, what is Excel? Like, why we are using? So okay, I have talked that it's a tool, that's fine. So it's a tool, that's fine. But why, and in what purpose, in what sense this tool is used? Anyone who can give me the answer? Who can give me the answer? This tool is used for what purpose? Which kind of a purpose we can use this Excel tool? Can I say it is used to? Can I get some response from you all? I want this session to be more interactive. That's why I have conducted it live rather than taking. I can also do a recording, but I want this to be live so that I can interact with you all. So I really want you guys to give the answers as well. Okay. Yeah, it is used to calculate functions of stats, Ankit is saying. Then Ayush is saying to organize the data. Yeah, so Excel major purpose when it was designed is to organize the data, is to store the data. So first of all, storage is being done. Second thing is that we can properly organize every bit of our data that we have. After that, Storing is done, organizing is done. The most important thing, as already stated by Sai, is that we can do a analysis of that particular data pretty well on this tool, right? Analysis is something which is very much crucial. So storing, organizing, and analysis, these are the three major purpose of this Excel tool. By saying analysis, how we can do so? Via doing some visualizations, that is possible, okay? And another thing is via doing a statistical calculations or normal calculations also, like doing addition, finding out average, finding out mean, median, mode. Everything is possible via the functions that we have in Excel, and it's so easy. It's so easy. Okay, so this is something that we can do via this particular tool, and that's why this tool is very much interesting, very much important for everyone here to understand, right? Those who will watch this video as a recorded session also, I am again saying it as a disclaimer that this video is not only for data scientists, data analyst people. Although my channel aims to have DSA and data science content, but this specific video is for everyone whosoever is watching this video to store their personal content also. Nowadays, I am not using this Excel tool for the industry per se. I am using this Excel tool every month to store my finances, to manage my finances pretty well, right? So we will try to understand that how we can do the analysis on top of these particular finances that I'm talking about here. I'll show you the demonstration also in a after a few minutes. Okay, so let's get started with this tool. Now the major prerequisite is that you should have this tool in your laptop, in your system, and the session will be more interesting if you will do the things which I am doing side by side with me. If you have joined this session, this live via the laptop, please try to open your Excel tool uh, in your laptop itself, and this is how the screen will look like when you open that. Just in your click search on Excel, and if you have Excel in your system, it should come up like this, and this kind of a screen you will be able to clearly see. Here, if you will see, this is a complete screen that we have where we can explore more templates with respect to Excel. As I told you that we can do so many tasks in this particular sheet, for example, academic calendar, monthly company budget, household monthly budget. These are the templates for which purpose you want to use this sheet. Accordingly, you can open any of the template and you can start doing that. Okay. But as of now, taking it very easy, I'm opening a blank workbook and will start to explore few things on this workbook itself. Okay, I have just opened a complete blank workbook and we'll explore few things on this particular workbook itself. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now, this is the screen that you are seeing. The proper, this is something which we call as a workbook, right? As I explained. Now, in this workbook, we will be having sheet. This is sheet number one. I can add more sheets by clicking on this add button. I hope you can see my cursor. You can add n number of sheets, whatever you want. It means that we will be having a workbook, and inside one workbook we can have multiple worksheets. Sheet 1 is the worksheet number 1, sheet 2 is the worksheet number 2, sheet 3 is the worksheet number 3, sheet 4 is the worksheet number 4. It means that in one workbook, what I am saying is, in one workbook, I am starting from very scratch. So please try to listen it. Everyone will be able to get an idea what I am trying to explain here. We can have multiple, as I have shown you, worksheets. And we usually enter all our data records. We usually do all the visualizations, calculations on top of this worksheets only. On top of this worksheets only, right? So let's get started, and we'll try to do few things on these worksheets. Now, I hope you can see this rectangular kind of a box which is there, right? Wherever I'm entering, this box is coming up, right? This is something which we call as a cell. So every box in this particular worksheet is a unique cell that we have. In the sheet 1, let's go to sheet 1. So this is something which we have is a one unique cell. And every cell is identified by its address. Now, if I will ask you what is the address of this cursor which where I am pointing to, the address will be defined by what is the column name. Now, next interesting thing is what is column, what is rows. So here, if you will observe this complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. This is something that we call as a rows. I hope everyone can see my screen clearly. And this is something which I am selecting as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This is something that we call as a column. I hope everyone must know about the matrix concepts, right? In matrices, whenever we used to represent, we will be having rows and we will be having columns. Similarly, in every worksheet, you will be having multiple rows and columns. Now, what I'm saying is every cell is identified by its unique address. How will you define this address? What is the column name? The column name is C, followed by what is the row number? It is 2. So the address will become C2. The address will become C2. Similarly, if I'll ask you what is the address of this particular cell, so you will say what is the column name? It is F. What is the row name? It is 12. So the convention is the address is F12, which you can see here as well. I hope this part is clear to everyone. So everything after this session, after this point of time, whatever things you will do in the Excel, we will do it on top of addresses. We will try to write the naming of the address. We will not do any manual thing because we are dealing with Excel, and the Excel good thing is that we can automate our task. We can just write a formula and everything will be done. How? I will show you, but the very first prerequisite is to understand the naming convention, the address convention of every cell. Is the address convention is clear to everyone? If suppose I will say, what is the address of this cell? Can you tell me? What is the address of this cell? Can you tell me? It will be equal to, can you guys tell me what is the address of this particular cell which I am marking here? Yes, any answer can I able to get? What is the address of this particular cell which I am marking here? I hope everyone can see my screen, this green cell which I am marking. This is something which is equals to H5. Very good. So here if you will observe, why I am saying H5? Because this is H column and this is the row number which is 5. Perfect. Now let's move ahead and let's talk about the different data types that we have in Excel. How many different data types? So we have talked about what is cell. We have talked about how the addressing of that cell is done, right? What is cell and how the addressing is being done in a given cell. Now, next interesting thing is that we want to talk about is how many different types of data type that we have in Excel. Yeah, column, yes, Ankit. Column is considered first and then rows. Column followed by. So here addressing will be done in a way that first of all you need to see the column name and then you need to see the row name. That's how the addressing will be done in the Excel. Okay. Now, next important aspect is how many different data types that we have in a Excel tool. How many different data types that we have in a Excel tool. Anyone, any idea? Anyone, any idea? Majorly, we will be having 4 different data types that we have in Excel. The very first data type is a textual data. It is a textual data. What is the meaning of textual data? If suppose you are storing the data of employee records, in that case, you will be having a data like maybe the name, right? Maybe the address of an employee, maybe the employee ID of an employee, right? These are the textual kind of a data. Second data type that we have is something called as numeric. Numeric, where suppose I want to store the salary of an employee. I want to store the salary of an employee. Maybe I want to store the price of any particular item that we have. I want to store maybe the age of a person. All these things are a numeric kind of a data that we have. The third important type is something that we have is Boolean. Boolean meaning that either the value will be true or the value will be false. Means either the value will be 1 or the value will be equals to 0. And the last is something that we have is date type, where we are trying to store the date and time in the Excel, right? Maybe what is the joining date of a person? What is the joining date of a person? What is the resignation date of a person? On which date he resigned, right? Resignation date, and so on. So, this kind of thing, or maybe you want to store any timestamp, all these things will come under the category of a date data type. Is this part is clear? So, we will be having 4 different unique data types in Excel. Now, the fun fact or the interesting thing is that whenever you are trying to store any textual data, whenever you are trying to store any textual data, by default in Excel, that particular data is left aligned in Excel. Is left aligned in Excel. And whenever you're trying to store any numeric data in an Excel, in that case, your data will be right aligned by default. In this way, you will be able to get that whether my data is a textual one or a numeric one. Sometimes it might happen. For example, this emp ID can be numeric, it can be textual. How will you get to know? It will be via the alignment. For example, now I can show you the demonstration as well. For example, we will be having a first column as naming as first name. Okay, first name. Let me just first of all zoom my screen so that this will be visible to everyone. Right? So here we will be having first name as the first column, and then suppose I will be having last name as the next column. Last name. Okay. And then I want to have a full name. Fine. And then suppose I will be having, let's see, we will do maybe the salary of a person. Okay. Now, suppose the first name is Priya and the last name is Bhatia. Now, here, if you will observe, all these things are textual or numeric. Whatever things I have mentioned here, is this coming under the category of a textual or numeric? Can I say it's a textual data? Can I say, everyone? That's why if you will observe, everything is aligned towards left side. Can you see left alignment is there? What is the meaning of right alignment? What is the meaning of right alignment? If suppose I will enter the salary of a person, suppose I am saying that Priya Bhatia is an employee and is having a salary of 50,000 every month. Can you see automatically? Now these things you will be easily able to observe if you will tap on your system as well. That's why I told you in the starting of the session, please open with me your Excel sheet and whatever things I'm typing here, try to type in your system as well. So that you will be able to understand that these things are, I'm not doing anything. By default, whenever you are entering or tapping any integer data, you will see that it will be moving towards the right side automatically. If suppose I am entering one more name, for example, I will enter, I can see a name of Nikhil in my live class. So here, Nikhil, maybe his surname is maybe, let's say, Bhatia itself. So in this case, if you will observe, suppose I will say the salary of this Nikhil is 45,000. If you will observe, automatically it is aligning towards, right side. When I'm writing a name, it is aligning towards the left side. Is this clear? Similarly, I can see another name, Rudra, then Prasad, right? Similarly, I can see another name, maybe Ankit Shah. Similarly, so Ankit and Shah will be the last name. Let me remove this and will enter here. And I'm doing it intentionally. And maybe any other name. Okay. One name is Mohammed Sarfaraz. Okay. Similarly, maybe let me write Alia Bhatt. Okay. Maybe let me write Shivam Bhatia. Maybe let me write some other name, Rashmi Tawar. Something like that. I'm writing any names here. And in this way, we will be having few names in the list. Let's take it maybe 10 names. So one more name is suppose Priya, and then let me write Sangwan. Okay. So, okay, one more name I got Rohit Sharma. Fine. So I have entered now few entries here where we will be having the first name, we will be having the last name, and every particular person is having a salary, right? Because it's suppose I'm running one company, and in this, these are the employees of my company. Suppose here 34,000 is the salary of Rudra, and 25,000 is the salary of uh, Ankit. Then suppose 27,000 here. I'm just randomly writing any numbers here. Suppose 76,000 is Shivam, and 23,000 is Rashmi, 15,000 is Priya, and Rohit is having 2398, something like that. Or maybe let's take 23980. Okay, these are the salaries of a person that we have. Perfect. So now we have seen that whenever I'm tapping on the textual data, it is coming by default towards the left side. Whenever I'm tapping on the integer data, it is coming by default at the right side. That's perfectly fine. Now, what I want is, I want to add, or I would say insert a new column to the left side of a first name. Listen my problem statement. I want to add or insert a new column towards the left side of a first name because I want to add an employee ID of every employee. Because you all know that when you go to the industry, every company will assign you one unique employee ID which denotes you, which says that okay, this is Priya, this is Nikhil, by looking into the employee ID, which is a primary key in a way for our employee details, employee records. So how we can do the insertion of any new column or row in a Excel sheet? That's the next important thing which I want to show you. So what you have to do is, just click on the right side button. There is an option of, you will able to see insert. There is an option of insert. And what you have to do, you will say entire column. What will happen? On the left side of first name, you will be able to get a new column, right? This A column is the new column which you will be able to get on the left side of a first name. So wherever you want to create a new column, what you have to do, it will by default be coming towards the left side. So you have to understand. Suppose you want to have a new column between the first name and the last name. You are saying to me, I don't want a new column towards the left side of a first name. I want a new column between the first name and the last name. So what you will do, you will click on this last name, because you know on the left side of last name I will be able to get a new column. Then again you will click on the insert button. You will say I want to get entire column. You can add entire row as well. As of now I'm adding entire column, and you will observe that this new column will come up between the first name and the last name. Is this part is clear to everyone? I think it is very easy. Similarly, suppose I want to delete this column which I have created just now because I don't need this. So what I will do, I will click on this delete button, where whichever column you want to delete, just click your cursor on that, left click, delete, and I want to delete an entire column. So I will click on OK. This is how basically you can add new rows, new columns, or delete new rows or new columns. It means insertion, deletion is clearly possible in this particular tool, very smoothly, very easily. Is this part is clear? Now, as I told you, I want to add the employee ID of every employee which is working in my company. Suppose I will say that employee ID Priya Bhatia is the first employee of this company and is having an employee ID of 1101. Is having an employee ID of 1101. Now, what I really want is, now step by step, now I am coming towards the functions in Excel. So now we are coming towards the functions in Excel. How we can do smart work in Excel, now the step will be started. So please pay attention, and whatever things I am doing side by side, try to do it on your system so that you can relate what I am saying here. Okay. Now I am saying to you all that Priya Bhatia is the first employee and the employee ID will start from 1101. What I really want is, I am saying that now the next employee was Nikhil Bhatia, and the next employee's employee ID will be the addition of the previous employee ID, will be the +1 addition of the previous employee ID. Means I'm saying now those who don't know Excel, what those people will do? They will say it will be 1102, then they will say it will be 1103, then they will say 1104. Manually they will type one, which is a very bad way. Suppose in a company I will be having 10,000 of employees. Does it make sense to write like this? No, not at all. What we will do? What a smart person will do? A smart person will try to utilize something here. What he will do? What he will do? One thing. Can you observe what I have done here? First thing is automatically by default your Excel sheet will recognize the pattern. For example, I have written 1102, 1103, 1104. Just let me just go back. Just select this portion which you have written and just double tap on this plus button. You will observe that your Excel sheet would automatically recognize the pattern and automatically fill up the details. That's the beauty of Excel tool. What I have done, I have not done anything. I have just written the topmost 2 or 3 fillings to make sure that my tool will be automatically able to understand what is the pattern look like. Now my tool get to know that she is just adding by one, by one, by one in the next employee's ID. So what I will do is I will fill up automatically. If suppose you don't want to do this, if suppose you don't want to do this, what other than that you can do? Let me go back and let me do one thing. I will remove everything here. What I told you that every function, everything, whatever functions you will write in Excel, you will write by addresses. What you will say, always remember that in Excel, whenever we are writing any function, it will start from equal to. You will say, what is the previous address? It is A2. Can I say the previous cell address is A2? If you will see, column name is A and the row number is 2, so it is A2 plus 1. I'm saying add 1 here. Done. Automatically I will be able to get 1102 here. Now either you can click on double tap again. What will happen when you double click? You will be able to get the complete automatic auto filling. This is something which we call as auto filling. Auto filling of all the records will be done whichever employees I have. What is happening internally? Automatically the formula will be applied. My Excel tool will be able to understand that what they have to do. They have to take the above cell plus addition of 1. Or another thing which you can do, let me just remove. Here you have applied the formula, right? What you can do is you can just drag it manually and you can go until whatever values you want to add. So there are two ways. In every function, either you can click on double tap, just double click in your mouse. Now this is what you have to do. I can't show you how I am doing a double clicking, right? Just observe by doing in your Excel sheet double clicking, you will observe the complete filling will be there. Otherwise, you can manually drag it down and automatically the filling will be there. Is this part is clear to everyone? Is this clear? It behaves same for the days of the week, ma'am? Yes, exactly same. This is the beauty of this Excel tool. And I'll talk about much more here. Until so far, it is good. Okay. The next important thing is, now I want a full name to be filled up. Now the person who don't know Excel, what he will do? He will manually type on. First name is Priya, then space, then Bhatia. Then he will do first name is Nikhil and then Bhatia. Now what will happen? Can you see automatically internally, this is the one way where my tool understands that what is the pattern, how she is writing. She is giving a first name, then she is utilizing a space, then she is writing a second name, right? One way. Another way. Let me remove everything here now. What we can do? There is a function called as concatenate. Concatenate. And what we can say? Concatenate function is used to combine the two strings. First string is Priya and then second string is Bhatia. First string is Priya, second string is Bhatia. Now you can see that in the function I am writing the addresses, right? It's B2, C2. It will be Priya Bhatia. You can also say that can't I write like this? One is Priya, and then comma Bhatia. Then also I will be able to get the same result. And our answer is yes. But the way is wrong. Every function, you don't tap manually. You should use the addresses of every particular cell that you have to get the result. Is it clear? Now, what you have to do, just double tap and automatically the filling will be done. And you can see it's so smooth, so easy to do that. I hope everyone will be able to get a sense of what I'm saying here. The only problem is, the only problem which I believe everyone here is able to see, that in a full name, there should be a space between the first name and the last name, right? A spacing issue is there. So what you can do one simple thing here in the formula. You can say, I want a space, and then a second name should be there. Okay, I didn't give the space here. I want a one tap space, and then it is fine. And this is done. Now, if you will again double click, automatically you will see that for every first name and the last name, there is a one bit of space which is there. And that's superb. That's so cool, right? We will be able to get the complete full name within just one click of button. We don't need to manually write anything. In Excel, if you are doing anything manually, it means you don't know the functions, because everything is just a game of formulas, and we will be able to get the final results in a very instant mode. And that's why I'm saying that this tool is very much important for everyone here to understand. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Shall we move ahead? Okay. Next interesting thing is, here you can see employee ID, right? Here you can see there's an employee ID. This employee ID which you can see is of what type? Can I tell? Can you guys tell me? This employee ID is of what type? Is this integer or text? Is this an integer type or a textual type? Or in other words, it's a numeric one or it's a textual one? Can anyone tell me? Very good. So as Nikhil said, it's a integer type. How will I get to know? Because you can see it's a right side alignment. It's a right side alignment. Okay. But emp ID is something which should be a textual one, because I will not do any numeric operations here, right? I don't want to do the summation. I don't want to do any mathematical computation on this IDs. What I want to do is I want to convert this emp ID from integer to a textual string. How can I do that? So what I will do, first of all, I will insert one new column to the left side of emp ID. So what I will do, I will insert the entire column to the left side of emp ID, and I'll say emp ID, but now this is in the underscore text. Text means in the textual format, I want the answer. How can I do the text conversion? That's the important thing. So there exists one function called as text. Here, what is the value you want to convert to text? This is B2. B is the column name, 2 is the row number. To what format? To integer format. Sorry, to textual format, right? So if you will observe, either you can say 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the number of values, number of digits that you have in that particular integer data. If you will do this, you will observe that automatically this 1101, which was right aligned, means which was numeric data in the emp ID, we have converted it into a textual one. And if you will just double tap here, you will be able to see every particular value or the emp ID that you have converted that into the integer to a textual one. Another way is, in a simple way, if suppose you don't want to write double hash again and again, double hash, so hash indicates the format, right? What kind of a format text you want? You want a string format, so double quotes, number of values. You can also write it like 0, simple. It will convert it into a text form, and you can just again double tap, it will again be done. So either you can mention the format manually, double quotes, how many number of digits you have, or you can also mention comma 0. Automatically it will be able to convert your numeric one to a textual data that we have. Is this part is clear to everyone? So now we will be having a emp ID which is in a textual form. Is this clear to everyone? Shall we move ahead to the next important part? So today it's basic things. And I will again do the one more live session because I know I will not cover up in a single go here. So I will again do one more live session. Step by step, we will move towards the advanced part. Okay. Is this clear to everyone? Is this perfectly fine? Shall we move ahead to the next important part? Okay. Now, what I want here, I want to add the salary values. I want that what is the company's cost each month he or she is giving. For example, this is my company and you are working in my company. So what is the total cost of the employees? How can I able to get that? What is the total cost? Now, if someone don't know, what he will do? Maybe he will do manually addition. 50,000 is the salary of Priya, then 45,000 is the salary of maybe Nikhil, then 34,000 is the salary of Rudra, and so on. Very bad approach. Very bad approach. You are doing manually writing a number which is incorrect. Or someone say that no, I am not manually typing on, but I am saying this plus this plus this plus this plus this. So I'm not manually typing on, but I'm just going step by step like this. This plus this plus. Do we have more values? Let me just check it out. So let me do one thing. Plus the last value is, oops, this. Okay. And here we will be able to get the answer. Right? Here, if you will observe, what is happening is we are not typing on the numbers here, but we are using the addresses. What is the benefit of that? What is the benefit of that? If you will observe here, if you will change the salary, suppose Nikhil is doing a lot of good work in my company and I want to increase his salary. His salary got increased from 45,000 to 60,000. Now I don't need to, can you see the change here? The value got automatically changed. Can you see that? Suppose I want to change the salary of Rashmi from 23,000 to maybe now she is earning 30,000. She got the promotion. Automatically, my expense of that company every month will get changed and there will be automatic change. If you will manually type on the numbers, what will happen? You have to manually change that formula as well. That's the real benefit of using the addresses rather than using the manual typing of those numbers. But still, we have another amazing way as well, where we don't need to just manually go to every cell and tap on the address. We have one another amazing way, which is having a sum function. So what we can do, we can use the sum function and we can specify a range. What is the starting range? And then what we can do, until how much values you want to add on. Until this point, what will happen? You will be able to get the answer. This is much better than the previous way also. So I have talked about three ways. First way, where a person is manually tapping on the values, very bad approach. Second way, better than the previous one, is going towards every particular cell and writing the address of that. This is the second way. But still, I'm not satisfied with that approach. The best way is to use a formula of the sum function to get the answer, where we are using a sum to sum the addresses, to sum the values that we have. And after that, we are specifying a range from where I have to start and until what point of time we have to go. Is this part is clear to everyone? Is this clear? This is the most optimized way. Why are using a function? Is this clear or not? Yes. So it's been 45 minutes. Uh, so I have talked about basic functions. I don't want to go in more detail now because I have to end this live session now. If you have any doubt, you can ask from me. Otherwise, there will be a second part of this session now. Okay. Second part, we will try to create one budget plan. Okay. I will demonstrate you one budget plan where we will try to do few more stuff on top of that, where we will try to find out that how much um, expenditure I used to make every month on necessities, or everyone we all will do how much expenses we made for necessity part, for luxury part, and for the savings part. This is the next important objective that I will try to demonstrate you in the next upcoming YouTube live, which I will do very soon, maybe after 2 3 days. I'm not sure. I like make a reminder and make a community post on the YouTube as well as on the LinkedIn post also. I will announce. So please stay tuned for that. If you have any doubt with respect to this thing, with whatever things I have covered up, this is the part one of the session. You can ask from me. Is this clear? One more interesting thing, apart from what things we have learned is, for example, if you have two strings, string one is suppose maybe Priya, and string two is also Priya. You want to check that whether these two texts are equal or not. You want to check that whether these two textual values or the string values are equal or not. There is one more interesting function that we have is exact function. And this exact function will give me the Boolean value. What you have to do, what is the text one, followed by what is the text two. And if you will click on this, you will be able to get the answer as true. So this is something that we have is an exact function, which is basically responsible to return the Boolean kind of a data now. I hope everyone have understood what is the meaning of a Boolean value. True means that, okay, these two strings are equal. False means these two strings are not equal. For example, if I write Priya, and in the second term, I will write Pia. Okay. And now if I'll say, is there is an exact match between these two? So you will mention this followed by this, and what you will be able to get is false. So exact function will help us to determine that whether the two strings are matched or not, means same or not, exact or not. If yes, it will return the answer as true. If no, it will return the answer as false. So today we have talked about several functions specific to the textual data. We have talked about text function, concatenate function, exact function. Then we have talked about the sum function, and we have talked about what is cell, what is the address referencing, how we can do so. And at the starting of the session, we have talked about what is the real purpose of this Excel tool. I hope whatever things I have covered up in the last 45 to 50 minutes is pretty much clear to everyone. Now, if you have anything to ask from me with respect to whatever things we have covered up today, you can ask. I'm here for 3 4 minutes more. After that, I'll leave the session. And if you want to join the second part of the live of this particular session, we will continue from this part itself. So please try to watch the recordings first, because I will start from here only. So if someone missed this live, he or she will not able to continue the second live. So it's a continuous process, right? If you will skip the first part, you will not able to understand the second part. And I'll not start from what is Excel and why it is required, because I already have covered up. So I will pre-assume that you already have awareness about now this particular tool, and you are basically aware about the basic functions that we have. So in the second part, we will try to talk about some more advanced functions that we have in Excel, which I quite frequently use a lot. Okay. Uh, any doubt, anyone? Is the whatever things I have covered up here is pretty much clear to everyone? Can I get some confirmation from you all, those whosoever is watching me live? And those who will watch the recording, please do write your confirmation in the comment section. I will for sure looking forward to your comments. If you have any sort of doubt, you can also write it down in the comment section. Do share these videos with everyone, so that if there is someone who is really looking for this knowledge, they will also able to utilize this content. I'll always make sure that I'll try to deliver the quality content to you all. And one more thing, thank you so much everyone for making it 5K subscribers. I hope you already have seen my LinkedIn post and the community post as well. But today, for the first time, I am coming live. So it's my humble request to everyone that please do share these videos to everyone, so that we can make it more, we can grow our channel more, right? And thank you so much for all your support that you are giving to me. Shall we end then, if you don't have any doubts? So far so good. I'll attach this Excel sheet, because if someone wants to see the formulas and all those stuffs, I will attach this Excel sheet in the description of my this particular video, or in the comment section I will pin that. so that you can just refer this Excel sheet and you can try to check it out at your home. And with this, let's end today's video, today's session. I hope you find this session insightful, and I'll see you all very soon in the upcoming live where we will talk about the second part of this particular video. Okay. Bye bye, and happy learning to all.